What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block for October 3rd, 2017. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and sitting right next to me, literally, for the first time.
Yes!
That retro code, Edward Varnell.
Hello, everybody. Corey!
Woo!
Yes! We have done it, everybody. We are live from the NGR Radio Headquarters.
Yeah, which is code name for the spare bedroom in my apartment building. But Ed, I'm so excited. This has been a long time coming. We've been teasing it for people. If you're listening to the version, you should go to the NGR Radio YouTube page, the Nerds Gone Rogue YouTube page, and check out this is kind of what I've always wanted this to be. Like, if you go back and watch the old DNA stuff, or, you know, just random videos that I've done where, like, sitting at a desk at a table and, like, really just having that real discussion with someone where, like, you know, sometimes when you're doing an online podcast, it's convenient, but sometimes there's a little delay. You know, on NGR Radio proper, we use Google Hangouts, and it has that weird, like, sometimes people sound like robots there. It doesn't pick up their mic correctly, stuff like that. Whereas, like, right now, like, I'm sitting next to you. We're having this real conversation. I can push you when I don't. Sorry. But, you know, it's cool because I can sit here. I actually have to measure the audio levels on my laptop. We're using a real camera, so, like, we're going to look, well, you'll be able to see how beautiful we look in HD because I'm using a semi-real camera. You know, it's exciting. This is exciting. It's exciting that you're here. It's exciting that, you know, the experience of sitting at a desk talking to somebody is something I've wanted to come back, you know, big way at some point. And, like, you know, it doesn't look like much production, but, like, it's gonna be a cool looking video. We took the steps yesterday to, like, we played a lot of games yesterday, including the SNES Classic, which, Ed, you want to grab the box that's right there on the desk? We went and stood in line for that. We took pictures. You can see them on Facebook. We played a bunch of the games on the SNES Classic, including the Star Fox 2. We took, about 20 minutes to play Star Fox 2, and it was really interesting. But, you know, we recorded a bunch of stuff. So, like, when you're watching the video, as we talk about the games we've been playing, they're going to be playing behind us. Or not behind us, but, like, we'll be able to fade out because, like, the original plan was to have the green screen, but we were having issues with the green screen. It's wrinkled and it's got some gross stuff on it, so it needs to be washed. But, you know, you're going to see us fade out and kind of see the game playing while we're talking over it, and then we're going to fade back in, kind of deal. So it's going to be a cool video, and it's something that I've wanted to come back to on the YouTube page for a long time. And maybe, you know, in future episodes, even though we'll be on Skype, I'll still record the games that, you know, we're going to be talking about, and they'll be playing behind us. So,
And don't worry, Corey. Of course, everybody, I'm going to be coming back. Now that I know how to get here and what steps to take to get here, I can now visit regularly if it happens. So
but,
maybe.
Ed, I'm really excited you're here.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to, like, use real microphones and, like, real video and real you, and just, oh man, I'm really excited.
It's really been a while since I, like, podcast with another person. Yes, I do it for World 1-1 when I go visit Larry, but I haven't, like, really podcast outside from Larry. Like, he's the only person that I podcast, like, literally in person for a good while. Everybody else has been Skype. So this is just, it's a blessing to me, but it's just like, I've been stoked and I've been happy. And even when I got into the car when I got here, I was just like, dude, it's happening.
I know. I'm so happy it's happening. And, like, you know, this first episode we're recording, we're doing a couple episodes because we want to, like, be able to do this video thing, probably like 2-ish episodes. We are gonna do news for this first episode, but the second episode we have 10 to 12 questions from the audience who have emailed us or tweeted at us or Facebook posted, and You know, that second episode is going to be a giant question block episode.
Yes.
And because we wanted to do multiple episodes like this together, and you know, we wanted to get the most out of it. So, man, I'm really excited. I'm really excited that we're doing this. But what have you been playing?
Well,
besides all these amazing Super Nintendo games.
Yes, before I get into that. Actually, before I got here, you guys, I've been playing Metroid Samus Returns. I only got 4 more Metroids. And while being on the train, you know, working on that game, Nintendo and Mercury Steam has done a phenomenal job. And the bosses have been very difficult, and I haven't been challenged like that in the Metroid games in a while. Like even with Metroid Fusion, I didn't feel that challenge. Didn't feel that challenge in Metroid Prime nor in other. But this one, I was just like, this feels like old school pure Metroid, and so the challenge in it was just been really good. Played Gears of War 4, was still playing that on hardcore, getting my tail kicked.
That was fun to watch last night. I just looked like last night I was playing Destiny, and I keep looking over and I'm like, Ed, why do you keep dying? He's like, shut up, I'm playing on hardcore by myself. Don't bother me. I'm like, oh, okay. And I just went back to Destiny. But
yes. So there's I got past this little section, Act 3. Still working a little bit on that.
Can I just tell you how good Gears of War 4 looks?
Yeah.
I realized it came out 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But and I know they're patching it and stuff, giving it graphical enhancements for the X when it comes out in November, but you were playing it on my Xbox One S, and I was watching my TV, which my TV's a nice TV, but it's 9 years old at this point. But I was like it, and I'm running the old Samsung KS600 series, which is the new hot TV right now is the KS8000 series, which is their kind of commercial streamlined 4K TV. My TV is that TV, but the 1080p version from 8 or 9 years ago. But I was watching the game play in 1080p, and I was just like, this game is astonishingly beautiful. The environments, the character models, the enemy designs. Yeah, the lighting.
The lighting was wow. Watching it on my 1080p screen, I'm just like, okay, this game look good. And then seeing it on your TV, it runs a bit smoother, and I'm just like, I might have to upgrade. That lighting looks really good. The monsters, I mean, the blood and stuff still look kind of jokey, but
yeah, but it's supposed to. That's part of the charm of Gears of War.
But the detail in the enemies, in the characters, like you said, the color popping and stuff, it was just wow. I didn't expect it to look that. And what's weird, and we'll probably speak about this later on Arsenal X, that when I looked at Destiny on it and looked at Gears looks way better than Destiny. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, that's something I really noticed too, because obviously I've been playing a lot of Destiny, but even jumping from so the situation is long story short, my wife allows me to keep my second computer monitor on our coffee table and lets me play games while we watch TV. And that's pretty much the giant version of the Nintendo Switch, right? Where oh,
exactly.
I can play it on this small screen, and then I can take it off the coffee table and plug it into my big TV. But even jumping from Destiny on my small monitor to the big TV is a huge graphical enhancement, and I always forget that because I haven't played on my big TV in a while.
Yes.
But seeing even the graphical fidelity of Destiny, which I understand, they've built these huge kind of open worlds, and there's 5 or 6 of them if you include the raid. And there's a lot going on the back end and everything, but even going from Destiny to Gears, I always forget that Microsoft puts a lot of soul or like heart and soul into their graphics department.
Yes.
And like I realize they're using Unreal Engine, which is an amazing engine, but like you have people that know Unreal Engine working on Unreal Engine, they can make their games look unreal.
Yeah, and it's and don't get me wrong, Destiny 2 does look good, but it fell flat compared to what Gears was.
Yeah,
just seeing
like
on that TV.
Like, yeah, just going from like, okay, so last night, I guess I'll just jump into the Destiny raid last night. Finally beat the raid last night. Woo!
Yes.
Got a max light helmet. Woo! Gosh,
Yes.
Thank you, Bungie, by the way, for making a Titan helmet that doesn't look ridiculous
That
from the
Titan
raid.
helmet looks phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Trials of Osiris bull helmet from Destiny 1, but instead of like the rounded back end, like it kind of looks like a halo. It has 4 fins that go out this way.
Yes.
It looks awesome. Like when I was playing Destiny 1, the only helmet I would wear was the Helm of Saint 14. Don't get me wrong, as a Defender Titan in Destiny 1, Helm of Saint 14 is the best helmet you can run, but it's also the only helmet worth using because it's the only helmet that didn't look ridiculous. Plus, like, my username's Rogue Spartan 4, and it had that nice Spartan, like, fit on it, so kind of, just kind of worked out. Which, by the way, I think we might need to go to Target because they have the Saint 14 Titan McFarlane figure, and I kind of want it. So
let's do it.
We might need to go to Target after we record, or maybe we'll go tomorrow. But anyways, going from Destiny's, like, I don't want to say the environments look plain, but they look like late 360 graphics. Like they look pretty good, but they don't look like that major jump from next like 360 to 1 or PS3 to PS4. But moving into Gears, like Gears has always looked phenomenal. Like that's the reason why I bought a 360 was because I saw Gears of War running and I was like, oh my gosh, that game looks amazing. I'm going to get a 360. And like seeing Gears of War 4 kind of propel Gears to the next level. You see the vines where they're like when you go in Destiny, you see the foliage, like the leaves look kind of flat when you get real close to them, and the textures are kind of not muddy, but they just kind of look like, okay, I can tell you're supposed to be looking at this environment from far away as opposed to close up. Whereas like you get into Gears, you go up to like some hanging vines, they like the leaves and stuff are actual polygons.
Yes.
And like the environment, the way the bricks chip off, the way the the barriers break when you break them, it's not just like a pre-rendered animation. You can actually see the bricks chip off, and like you can see in the faces, like the pores in the faces, or like looking at Kate, like when her hair swings or like her cap is kind of like waving in the wind or whatever, like you can see it like kind of do this little, this is really good radio doing this, but like you know what I mean, like when like your beanie, like when it's windy, the back kind of like flutters a little bit.
Like the animation in it just looks so realistic. Like they kept like, we know that it's been drawn or like animated, but it almost look like if you look at it, you'd be like, is that real or is that like cartoonish? You'd be like, no, that looks kind of real. Like they did a really good job.
They did a really good job of like using the kind of over the top. They kind of toned down the over the top art style from Gears 1, 2, and 3. Where like, yeah, they're big muscle bound bros shooting stuff, but like this one they kind of toned that back a little bit and kept the art style of the humans, but like kind of toned it back and made it feel more realistic and more relatable.
Yes.
And like I just forgot how good that game looked. I really did. And like I'm really happy that you were playing it last night because it made me really want to get back into Gears. But yeah.
Been playing. So I finally played Project Octopath Traveler.
Yes.
Day one purchase. Literally, if you do not believe us and other podcasters, if you own a Nintendo Switch, if you're planning to get a Nintendo Switch, when the game releases or pre-sale, buy it. Soundtrack, Corey told me, was phenomenal. I literally put my headphones in, put the game down, and listen to the piano. Like, once again, 2017 might be the best year of video game music. Other than that, this is like probably gonna be 2018's. I don't know if it's an indie project. I don't know how to call it, or should I say? I want to say triple A.
It's just a Switch. It's a Switch exclusive. It's just like the. It's from the Bravely Default team.
Yes.
So like, it has that not quite AAA looking, but still like a ton of quality into it. I would call it like a double A.
Okay.
Yeah.
The gameplay, breathtaking in a way that it seems hard if you haven't played Bravely Default. But if you don't rush it and just really take your time and be smart about it, put some grinding time into it, you would have a ball. Like, this is the old school RPG, the 16-bit that I love, that I miss, and it gave me that feeling. The brake system, it really teaches you on how to use the mechanics in the game. So this is going to be one game definitely to have. I will say this: you can play it on the TV, but this is a definite portable on the go game. I played as Obelisk or something like that.
The Knight.
The Knight. Voice acting top notch.
Mm-hmm. Very surprising. Not that like Square Enix's games have had bad voice acting, but they're not usually up to par of something like Gears or like, you know, some more of the Western developed side of games take voice acting more seriously than Japanese, because people like it when Japanese games are kind of quirky and like over the top. You know, you take Persona's voice acting; it's very anime, very over the top, very high pitched, giggly girls and stuff like that. Whereas, like, you know, I played the Primrose demo twice now. Like, I played it yesterday twice, and again about maybe a third of the way through it. And like the voice acting is just, it's phenomenal. It's very, I don't want to say like Western because it's kind of like a weird way to look at it, but it's very like kind of adult, I would say.
Yes.
And very like kind of dark, you know, like they get the darkness across of like, I don't know, I didn't play the Knights campaign yet, but like Primrose's story is very dark. And like they get that point across in a very meaningful, impactful way just through the voice acting. And you know, like it's hard to display like darkness in the pixelated art style that they're using, but like the mood of the town that you start out in as Primrose, like the lighting, the architecture, and then you are listening to the story told through this very real voice acting, and it's just like you get it, like it's very impactful.
That emotion makes the narrative more meaning, like brings it out. Yeah, because there is a part that you guys would have to like really see what happens between this boss and Primrose. I won't get into it. You guys can see video. If you played it, then you know what I mean. But I can't wait to play the other characters and see where the story goes. And
I want to know how all the characters' paths cross through this game.
Yes.
Like, if you play as one character, are you going to be able... Because, like, I know at the end of Primrose's campaign, you end up in the town that you start out in as the knight.
Right, and vice versa.
So I wonder if you're going to be able to, like, add these characters to your party or cross paths with them at some point, or... even more interestingly, like depending on who you play makes the story change. So like what if you're playing Primrose and you come across the Knight, but in Primrose's eyes the Knight is a bad guy and like you have to fight him, or like you know, some sort of like boss battle type way, and he actually leads the like, or like one of the other characters is actually like thinks that like killing Primrose's father at the beginning was like helping save the world, but through Primrose's eyes it's like well, I need to get revenge on this guy because you killed my dad.
And I feel like, so in Primrose, her father gets killed.
Yeah, it's right at the beginning. It's not a spoiler.
Right. In the knight's story, the king gets killed by one of the knight's friends. Like, he was guarding the knight, and he ends up killing him. And I guess there's some story behind it. So I wonder if the father and the king know something, and all of this leads into a bigger story. Like, everything comes because I'm literally, I know I made the comparison of Saga Frontier. After playing it, it has nothing to do with Saga Frontier, and I say that
probably for the better.
Yes, and I say that as a big thing is because when I look at it, Saga Frontier, you chose characters and the way that you battle. It looked that it was kind of that battle style, but the Bravely Default team and that game itself, that battle mechanic wasn't invented, and Saga Frontier is very hard. Like, you really can't, there's no way to, like, really take time to grind in that game to get your characters. Everything is played by luck. And you don't get that in Project Octopath. So, I'm looking forward to this game. I still haven't got Iron Setsuna, but I will say this by Square Enix. And these AA projects, please continue to put them on any platform that you can. I don't care, iOS, Android. I really want to see it on Xbox One. I really wish Square Enix would bring it to Xbox One, just to be fair to everybody. But yeah, continue bringing the PS4 and continue bringing the Switch. Be the leading. I think this is the leading pack of bringing that old school RPG back that a lot of people miss. Like, it feels like it's a evolution of JRPGs coming back into America, and it hopefully, even if it produces a little bit of financial success, like I Am Setsuna Lost Sphere, when that comes out, I can't wait till Lost Sphere drop. Project Octopath, like these games, I really hope people go out and spend the $30 or $40 and like really buy these games because I want to see more. It feels like Ubisoft gave up on that idea after Child of Light and their other game, but the Square Enix could continue this, and even if they've just released for a time period for 3 years, like 10 or 12 games, I'm down for it. So, other than that, Rayman, Mario and Rabbids, Kingdom Battle, getting further into that, still on the first world. Need to be that.
I mean, to be fair though, these worlds are huge. Like, it's not like we're playing so many other games that, like, I mean, I'm only on World 2 in Mario Rabbids, and I've probably put 10, 15 hours into this game at this point, and it's just like, it's one of those games too where, like, Nintendo's done a great job of making a game that feels good in bite-sized pieces or long stretches, and, well, Ubisoft, I guess. But, like, you know, it feels good to play in handheld mode for 10 minutes or on your TV for 3 hours. Like, the same way Zelda felt, where, like, you know, oh, I can play it in handheld mode and find a shrine and find some Korok seeds in about 15 or 20-minute game session, or I can play for 10 hours and do a ton of stuff. You know, it's like they've done a great job with all of their games so far.
Yes.
Making them feel successful in both areas. And that's why I feel like the Switch is successful right now, is like people are realizing that, like, okay, all of your games feel really good. I can get this AAA experience and still feel like I've progressed in a small amount of time.
And it's funny because I told Corey, like, when I get my Switch, I'm like, I'm going to play most of it on my TV. When he talks about portability, and forgive me because you were right, I'm sorry. I have been playing it on both, but like Project Octopath, like I played that on just the Switch itself. Like, I didn't even play it on my TV. And because it was just like, I need to hear this. And I could carry it on the go to the bathroom. I'm like, because when I grind, and definitely with JRPGs, I'm going to be like, I need to grind some more. I need to level up because I know a big boss. And if I could just continue to go back and forth, I gotta go take my sister somewhere. She gotta do something. She's gonna be for a while. Oh, got my Switch. I can continue my grind. Like, the battery was almost gone after playing it. So, but that's what I've been playing. But Corey, you've been playing the game that just came out that we both were probably our
something you're not expecting us to talk about either.
Yes. So what have you been playing?
I've been playing FIFA 18 on Nintendo Switch. When I turned it on, how impressed were you by how great this game looked on Switch?
It looks smooth.
Yeah.
Like, it looked...
Here's the thing. The menus, this game is the smoothest running, probably best controlling EA Sports game I've played in over a decade.
Agreed.
Since PS2, I would say.
Agreed.
Since Madden on PS2, this is the smoothest, best controlling game I've seen EA put out in terms of their sports franchises in a long time. And not that their sports games are bad, but like once they made that leap from, I guess, well, for me, it would be like PS2 to 360 generation. Like, the animations have always felt tanky and slow. The characters, the players never really felt like they were doing what you wanted them to do. Like, I want you to hit this hole hard, and I want you to sprint up into the hole and break to the outside in Madden. It would take him forever to do the sidestep, then change direction, go up. And, like, I realize they're trying to make a realistic football sim, but, like,
yes,
for some reason, Madden on PS2, the animations allowed you to do that, whereas they wanted to make it more realistic on 360 and now 1, where, like, everybody feels kind of slow and tanky until you get out into the open field, which is fine, but, like, playing FIFA... yesterday. How long did I play FIFA yesterday? Probably like 3 or 4 hours.
Yes.
Like, I played on the TV for probably 2 or 3 matches.
It looks breathtaking on the TV.
It's amazing, dude. Like, the character models, like, honestly, like, I went back and watched videos on the PS4 and Xbox One version, and yeah, those versions do look better. I do want to say that, but, like, not seeing those versions first, and if you would have told me that this was the Xbox One version of FIFA, I would have believed you, because that's how good it looks on Switch. Like, on in TV mode, it looks crisp. The players' facial animations, their running animations, their celebrations, all look distinguishable. Like, it's very clean, I would say. I don't know what the frame rate runs at, but it's a smooth frame rate. Like, I didn't notice that any stuttering. Yeah, like, there's no stuttering, there's no hiccups. Like, it's missing features and modes and stuff, but, like, they're all things that I don't care about. The one gripe I do have is, like, it doesn't allow you to play against your friends online yet, and that's coming in a patch later. Yes, they just wanted to make sure, like, the basic gameplay experience was working, which is fine for me, because, like, I only have one other friend, and if we're going to play together, it has the ad hoc mode where, like, you can just link your Switches together and play them, play against each other. So, like, that's cool. But I probably played, like, 3 or 4 hours, or I probably played for, like, 2 or 3 hours in handheld mode, and it still looks stunning in handheld mode. Like, oh, yes. Like, I was thoroughly impressed. Like, because I thought EA was going to do what they did for the Wii U and just crap out last generation's version of the game with features that were missing because the Wii U's online infrastructure isn't in place, and say, oh, nobody bought it on Switch, so we're not gonna release it anymore. Well, this is not a short-changed version of the game. I was thoroughly impressed at the work they put in. They put in effort. And it, like, really makes me feel like, and I know they said this engine won't work for any other type of game, but I feel like FIFA and Madden could run on this engine, and I feel like maybe we could possibly get a Madden port or Madden next year using this engine. Like, that's what I want to see them address, is like, okay, well, Switch is still selling like hotcakes. Next year we're going to put a team to port Madden, to port NBA Live, to port NHL to this thing.
And can I tell you, I've been seeing people double dip for both systems.
Yeah,
Like,
how many people did we see on Instagram and Facebook yesterday? Hey, I bought it for the One and Switch because I want it portable. How many people did we see do that?
We've seen probably about 20 or more.
My friend Brian, like, he's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get FIFA this year until he found out it was coming on Switch. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get it on Switch instead. He's a huge Destiny player, and like when he fizzles out on Destiny, he's gonna move on to Call of Duty or a second season of For Honor, or he's a very competitive gamer, but like he likes, when he goes to bed, he likes to play Switch for like an hour, and he's already pre-ordered games that like he would get on occasion, but I mean, me and him are both big sports fans, and we used to buy Madden and NBA like clockwork every year until we just realized, like, hey, these games kind of suck because they don't respond well, the animations are bad, and it's just not worth our time to buy these games. Well, now he's already pre-ordered WWE, NBA 2K18, and he's getting FIFA for Switch because he's like, I like the fact that I can lay in bed and play this portably. And he was like, did you get FIFA on Switch? I was like, yeah, dude. I'm like,
we were literally sitting by each other watching a movie. Corey is playing FIFA, scoring like crazy, and I look over and it was running smooth.
I know. Like I expected that on the TV. Like, I was like, okay, it's gonna run smooth. How's it gonna run in handheld mode? No hiccups whatsoever. No frame rate issues. Not even in the menus, where like Madden has a lot of menu issues where like it gets super laggy in the menus. That like when you press A to accept something, it takes so long that you end up pressing A again and selecting like 2 or 3 things at the same time because like the menus are laggy. No menu lag, nothing. And I was thoroughly impressed with FIFA 18. If you're planning on getting it, or like, you know, you prefer it on Xbox One or PS4, like, don't sleep on the Switch version.
Yes.
It was...
I really want to see how it turns out when the NVR numbers or whatever. But I'm going to be picking it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and like, I'm not like a huge soccer fan. I follow some of the European leagues, and I follow MLS a little bit, just from like ESPN updates on my phone and stuff. I like to keep up to date, but like, soccer's not a game I'm gonna buy every year. But I just, like I told you this story on GameCube. Me and my cousin were obsessed with FIFA for like 4 or 5 years in a row, and like we would save they had this feature where you could save your career team to the memory card, and you could play each other with your career teams, and like, it was just so much fun. And this brought back so many of those memories, and I'm just like, I would like to dabble in FIFA like every other year if they're going to continue to put it on Switch.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not going to buy it every year. That's ridiculous for a sport that you don't follow regularly, you know. But like, if they start putting Madden on here, and like, this makes me even more excited for NBA 2K. I showed you the trailer and screenshots for NBA 2K running on Switch, and that game looks great on Switch. And like, it makes me almost want to pick up WWE on Switch, because I'm like, I haven't bought a wrestling game since N64, and I'm just like, sure, why not?
And I can understand where people are having problems with NBA 2K, the digital version, I should say, for right now. But I've been seeing people, if you don't mind the microtransaction, getting that stuff out the way, people who've been playing it really been talking about the Switch version, and really have been enjoying it. Like, they're like, yeah, it runs good on Switch. Like,
yeah, and like, I know there's on the WWE for Switch, there are some features that it's a feature complete version of the game, but like, instead of 8 people in a, what do you call it, like a Royal Rumble match?
Yeah,
like, they're limiting it to 6, so the game won't have any frame rate issues. But it's still like the full version of the game, which is cool. Like, I just think like 2K and Bethesda have really stepped up, and now EA has kind of shown me that they kind of stepped up to the plate for FIFA, and I was thoroughly impressed.
Yes.
But other than that, I played a little bit of Sonic Mania.
Looks so good.
It looks really good on the TV. That was the first time I played it on the TV, by the way.
Really?
I've been playing it in handheld mode. But Chemical Plant Zone, like, I forgot how great Sonic music is. Like, say what you will about the games, but the music is phenomenal. It's got that cool kind of techno vibe to it. Like, it's cool. I really like the Sonic music a lot.
Sonic 2.
And Chemical Plant Zone is like one of my favorite zones in Sonic ever. I was obsessed with Sonic 1 and 2. Not so much 3. I think 3 is kind of where they started going, whatever. But
Yeah.
Sonic 1 is still my favorite. Sonic 1 is my favorite Sonic game. It will always be my favorite Sonic game. It's the purest form of Sonic. The only thing from Sonic 2 that I miss in Sonic 1 is the down spin. But
Sonic 2 level design and music, it like destroys Sonic 1.
Yeah, going back and playing Sonic 2 with Knuckles, and Knuckles being able to climb environments and stuff, and like really taking the time to explore these environments with Knuckles was like, man, they really put a lot of effort designing these levels for people to sprint past everything in Sonic.
Yes.
And like, I'm glad they added Sonic 2 to that Knuckles backwards, whatever Sega's trying to do with the Knuckles cart. Yeah, Sonic 2 level design is really, really good.
I'm about to revisit Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I have it on my one for backwards compat.
Ooh.
So maybe we'll do a Let's Pod and play a Sonic 2. And then I played, what was the other game I was playing? Octopath Traveler, obviously, and then Destiny. Finally beat the raid last night. It was, gosh. I don't want anybody who's watching this take this the wrong way. But like, our raid team has kind of struggled, and like, we've had trouble getting a consistent raid team. Like, it's me, Brian, my friend Brian, and his brother David are kind of like the consistent people in our clan. And it's just from people like getting married, growing up, kind of having kids and stuff. Like, our friend Patrick just had a kid. Our friend Jared is getting married today, actually, as we're recording this. He's getting married. Congratulations, Jared. Not that he's watching this, but like, and our friend Aaron has less than a 1-year-old, and so like, people can't play like when we used to. We used to raid every Wednesday night, and we used to play every Saturday night and every Monday night. Like, those were like the 3 designated times. So we were like, okay, if we don't finish the raid or we need a secondary character to raid with, like, those were the nights we were raiding. And then all the other times were just like, whatever, let's just level up our characters to get ready, find cool weapons and stuff. But like, it's been really frustrating because this was the first time that, like, we usually don't beat the raid in the first week because we like to go in blind and kind of figure everything out. Well, the raid's been out for almost a month now, and we still hadn't beaten it. And it was a little frustrating, just because like, we're used to figuring out and running the hard mode raids and doing well. But last night we had the checkpoint at the final boss, and we were at it for probably almost an hour and a half, I think. And it was just like dumb stuff that was preventing us from getting through. But we finally beat it, and it just, like, beating a raid, that frustration just automatically goes away, and you're just so excited to just be like, oh my gosh, we beat the Emperor. The center circle opens up, and you drop down onto this elevator, and it takes you down to this long hallway, and at the end of the hallway is the final chest that you open up to get gear. And I pulled out a 300 helmet, and I added a mod to it, so I have a max light helmet. And I know we talked about this at the beginning of the show, and we're going to talk about it on Arsenal X this week, so I'm sorry. But, like, I would like to see a lighter scale version of this type of teamwork-based game on a Nintendo console. Because, like, and that's where I was kind of going with this, was like, yeah, in the Pow Block question block, next episode, we have... Someone kind of gets mad at me for my Metroid Destiny thing, and I do want to address that in that episode. But
we want to address it.
But like, even if it's just like a 3 or 4 man thing where like you had to go through this long, not necessarily to the extent of a Destiny raid, but like you have to go through with your friends, you have to solve puzzles, and everybody's kind of got to have their own job and know what to do to advance to the next area. And like just I would like to see Nintendo do that, because I feel like with all the features the Switch has on it, like portable, or like everybody's in the same room, or even when they get their online features up, like I feel like, you know, something set in the Metroid universe, something set in the Fire Emblem universe, something set in the Zelda universe, like these types of games exist.
I'm thinking Four Swords in or if you want to do it in Zelda, Triforce Heroes. Like, or even, you literally can expand that game.
Yeah, or even like you take a concept like Super Mario 3D World.
Yes.
And you have these special multiplayer challenges where they're just like, you need to set aside like a half hour, 45 minutes or so with your friends, and you have these platforming challenges where you all need to like collaborate and, you know, maybe get the right kind of like fire flower or the cat suit or the bumblebee suit from Galaxy or something like. And every character kind of has their own unique power or something, you know, like they've kind of expanded on in Mario 2 and kind of later on. But like, you know, just something like that, like a platforming challenge or something. Like, I feel like there's something cool and unique Nintendo could do with a multiplayer concept where everybody needs to work together to move forward. And just that satisfying feeling of beating the raid last night got me thinking a lot about stuff that could revolve around Nintendo franchises that they could do. So, just to wrap that back around to Nintendo.
Yes.
So, but that's kind of all I've been playing. Switch. I'm just going back to FIFA, man. I cannot believe that game. Like, it was so cool to play that and feel like I'm actually controlling this player and he's doing what I want him to do. Was like this odd, satisfactory feeling from an EA Sports game. Like, man, I don't want to get into. We'll talk about it later. But what do you say we get into some of these news bits?
Yes.
Okay, so SNES Classic. It's a cool little system.
Yes.
We got it. We kind of did a unboxing / history of the game / kind of review discussion when we unboxed it. Like, this system, it's almost sold out everywhere right now. You could probably walk into a store and maybe find one, but like, it's definitely way more palatable to find this console than it was the NES Classic.
Right.
Way easier to find. Like, we were in line. There was probably like 20 people in line.
20 people. Yeah.
And people were still walking in after we left to get them. It was like, it was cool to see that like Nintendo actually kind of listened and said, "Hey, we're gonna produce more of these consoles," and it's cool because people are getting them. It's cool,
right? And like, that's why I'm just like, when you think of Nintendo, a lot of people don't think of certain stores.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, if you just think of GameStop and Best Buy, you're going to luck out. You know, sometimes you have to think of Toys R Us. You're going to have to think about, Target, yes. But I'm like, maybe Sam's Club or something that's not selling it overnight, I should say. You kind of sometimes have to think out the box and be like, well, a lot of people don't visit this store, so let me go there first. Like, like when stuff like this get announced, don't think of Best Buy and GameStop. Think of the smaller stores that you wouldn't expect. If a store's not doing a pre-sale, your best thing to do is be there 2 or 3 hours in advance. Now, that depends on what state. Because
I mean, we were there like maybe a half hour before the store opened.
Yeah.
And like, they were letting people in early to get it. Like, it wasn't like the Switch launch where I went and even the pre-order lines was like wrapped around the store where I pre-ordered my Switch. Like, my GameStop got a ton of Switches for pre-order.
Yeah.
But like, it was just kind of nice to see, like, oh, no one's being a jerk and like buying 47 of these things. Like, And Toys R Us had that really nice system where they handed you the old school paper slips that you had to take to the magic box to get your system. But the girl, when we walked in, we just carried our slip, and you had to have a slip to get one, and she just handed it to us and was like, "Have a nice day." It was really simple. It was really nice. But it's nice to see that these things are gonna probably be readily available at some point.
Yes. I found out. That's why I was when I called my sister yesterday. My Toys R Us is in Illinois. Is kind of a reasonable one. Mm-hmm. So from our door to PetSmart, you have to pass up almost a whole nother building. Like it's literally long stretching out. And my sister said from our door all the way to almost at the end of PetSmart. That's how many people we had at 6 a.m. in the morning.
What? Okay. Like, I live in an area where, like, not a lot of people really care about video games, luckily. Like, on launch days of things, except for, like, the Switch, I had to pre-order. But, like, most days, like, I walked in day one and found a PS4 without pre-ordering it, no problem. Or, like, most Amiibo I can get on the first day, no problem. Like, we walked into GameStop afterwards, which is like a little bit down the road.
Yes.
And the cashier guy was like, "Hey, we have the Metroid Amiibo, and I know you got Metroid the other week." And I was like, "Yeah, I already got him," but like they had the Metroid Amiibo, which was like, so like I'm fortunate to live in an area where nobody really cares about games. So I mean, it's cool. I do like the fact that I love the box. I love the design of the box.
Yes.
I like my NES Classic Edition box is on my shelf over there with the classic Amiibo. But like, all thanks to Ed. Jeez, I still have never seen one outside of that one. Like honestly, and I know they're coming back out next year, but which I hope to get a controller by then because like, although now that I have the Super Nintendo controllers, I'll probably just use that on the NES Classic because they work on it. And to be fair, the SNES controller is more comfortable than the NES controller.
Yes, that is true.
But yeah, we found one. We got one. They seem to be readily available. Don't pay the scalpers. Like, I saw a lot of people in Facebook groups have picked up multiple ones and are going to sell them at cost plus shipping. So, like, if you are in any Facebook groups or anything, just check it out. People are willing to like get these things to you as long as you just like pay for shipping or whatever. Like,
right.
We're lucky enough that our community at NGR is small enough, and the communities we deal with, you know, Fathers of the Grind, Nerd Overdrive, all those guys like Secret Friends Unite. We kind of have communities that are small enough that are respectful of the creators and the hosts and everything, and the people within the community that like they're willing to help each other out, and it's really cool to see. So you should join, if not our community, if you're not already there, please do join. But like the other communities we deal with, you should join those communities. They have them. I've seen them. Reach out and they'll mail you at cost plus shipping. So
yeah, I did it. One of my friends in California, he couldn't find the Metroid Amiibo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so a restock came in our store, and I brought it, and I literally told him, like, hey, were you able to find one? He said no. I was just like, well, I have one right here. And I specifically said I brought it just for you to ship it out to you. So if you want it, I can send it to you. All you have to do, exactly. All you have to do is just, PayPal me, and that's it. He was just like, okay, I could do that. He sent me the money that Friday. I sent it because the post office was already closed. I boxed it up, shipped it out that Friday. He literally got it at 4:00 in the afternoon because he was just like, I checked my tracker and it didn't show that. Oh, it's just arrived at my job. I was just like, okay, cool. And he literally opened it up and he put it up on Twitter, showing, saying that he got it, thanks to me. So and my thing was just like, hey, have fun, enjoy, and I literally charged him at the regular price. I didn't charge him no more. I didn't even charge him shipping. I'm just like, send this and you good to go.
Yeah. Plus, like, what I was thinking we could do, like, at some point around Christmas time, like, I'm gonna try to find another one for Pow Block to give away on a show, just because like, you know, you were nice enough to get an NES Classic for me for my birthday, and like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna repay you for that, but like, I want to be able to do that for somebody with this. Even though, yeah, Nintendo's going to put more out, whatever, but, like, I want to be able to do that for someone. So
Yes.
I'm going to try to get a second one, and so we can give it away on a show. If we have, like, a question block segment and we get a really, really good question, I think, like, maybe, like, the best question over the span of, like, October or November should be rewarded with one of these. So
we'll work out the details.
Yeah, well... We'll get back to you, but I thought that was just a thought that crossed my mind. Like, I think maybe we could do that. But
yes,
yeah, okay, we're gonna get more into this news. Nintendo bans YouTube live streams as part of Nintendo's Creators Program. No more live streaming of your favorite Zelda Breath of the Wild speedrun. Not surprising. I mean, Nintendo has been cracking down on YouTube stuff for a long time, and so like. I don't know. I don't really care about this stuff because like when we do live stream, we're live streaming to Twitch, and we're usually not live streaming Nintendo games. But like,
right?
You know, it would be cool to live stream some of this stuff though. But at the same time, it's like Nintendo's always been cracking down on YouTube. Is this really a big surprise to anybody? Like,
you know,
here's the thing for me, like. Nintendo wants to control the message through YouTube.
Yeah.
With a positive message without like cursing or negativity towards a console, and like preventing live streaming helps them control that more.
Right. Because
people won't be like dogging a game while they're live streaming it, and people like if you get your favorite influencer and you're watching you know, your favorite YouTuber or whatever live streaming a Nintendo game and they're talking crap about it the whole time, that sends out a negative message to a lot of people at the same time. Right. Where like, and I get it. Other companies don't really care because they look at it as a free advertising opportunity, whether your game's good or bad. But like Nintendo has such a custom of like, we want to present ourselves as a proper company. We have respect and honor for our company and our employees and our designers. Our developers. And like, we don't want our developers to feel like people don't appreciate their stuff. So taking away the live stream aspect of it makes sense from the Nintendo standpoint. You know, I'm not really going to be negative on this because I think Nintendo is doing the right thing for the purpose of what they want their image of their company to look like.
And I think for a lot of players and a lot of viewers, and even some creators, they have come to acknowledge that and accept that. Definitely, when you said influencers, like you don't want to see that PewDiePie incident happening ever again. With Nintendo,
and I think that's I think that has a bit, like, nothing, not talking negative about PewDiePie, but that incident that he just had, using the N-word on stream, like, I don't think Nintendo wants that associated in any way with any of their products, and this is just a way to cut that off at the source.
And it feels like, well, a lot of companies don't want nothing to do with that. But the thing about it is that you can't say when you live streaming that from a company's perspective that, oh, this is good marketing for us. So when something like that happens, you can't feel like that you should be cutting off the marketing, because if you accept it when that person said it before, you still need to accept it after that person does it now. And I think Nintendo is smart, just like, look, we can market and message our games better. If you don't believe us, look at the last Nintendo Direct. And look how many people probably went out. Me and Corey went out and pre-ordered Fire Emblem and Xenoblade Chronicles.
I said I wasn't going to pre-order any special editions this generation.
I was at GameStop.
Dude, I went back to GameStop 3 times to see if they had the Xenoblade Collector's Edition. Okay? So, like, I got the Xenoblade Collector's Edition, the Fire Emblem Collector's Edition. The only other 2 Collector's Edition this generation I bought was... I pre-ordered the Order Collector's Edition and got that cool Galahad statue, which is sitting over there on my shelf. I still really like that game despite how bad it is. That might be my favorite bad game this generation. I really like the story of that game, and I want to see them do something more Gears of War-y with it. Like, really just totally rip off Gears of War with the next one. And Horizon were the special editions that I got.
Yes.
And I did buy the special edition of the Breath of the Wild one, but that's because it came with that cool case. And it came with something else, too. I think it came with a cloth map. That I was just like, yeah, of course I want that. Like, that's not it's, but I don't really count that as like the collector's edition was the one that came with the Master Sword that I couldn't find anywhere. But yeah. Anyways, Nintendo just cutting it off at the source, I think, is smart from a perspective of how they want their company to be viewed. So,
right. And just watch Nintendo Mini on their YouTube page.
Yeah, I mean they're. Speaking of Nintendo's stuff. Nintendo has announced that the end of the Wii Shop channel, not the Wii U eShop, the Wii Shop channel, which I've spent many hours in there debating on which virtual console games to buy. But January 31st, 2019, I believe is the date that they're shutting it down. So you still have about a year and a half-ish to buy all the virtual console games you want. That said, I probably own every virtual console game available in that store. I was obsessed with virtual console, dude. Like, I have every N64 game available. I know that. I have most of the Super Nintendo games. Not a lot of the NES games. I have, like, the main ones. Like, I have all the Zeldas. All the Marios, Zeldas, and Metroid, and Donkey Kong 1 and Junior. I didn't get 3, because who wants Donkey Kong 3? But, like, you know, I have a few Genesis games, like Gunstar Heroes and all the Sonic games and Sonic Spinball. Secretly the best Sonic game ever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I actually got Contra Rebirth. I need to get Castlevania Rebirth. Contra Rebirth is so good. I love that game. When they put Earthbound and when they put Secret of Mana on there, I almost just I was like, I don't care if I go bankrupt or something or go or whatever. I had to buy that game when they announced it. Mm-hmm. Chrono Trigger, of course. I'm like, I need that old school 16-bit version of Chrono Trigger. I got some weird Japanese games that they just having to release. I need to go. There is a card game, Sexy Poker, is what it's called.
It sounds like an Ed game.
It's a WiiWare game, and I need to go buy that. So I need to have that get back on there and buy it.
For those who want to add funds to their Wii Shop channel account, you have until March 27th, 2018 to add funds to your account. So, I mean, if you still have your Wii hooked up, I mean, to be fair, like, I've been thinking about hooking my Wii up for a long time just to have the virtual console, just have a virtual console box.
Yeah.
But these classic things that make it so much easier. And, like, when the Switch gets virtual console, dude, I'm just going to be like, everything's going in a box except for my Switch, and this is just going to be it.
And I really do hope that they move WiiWare games to the Switch.
You know what I was thinking, though? Like, the way the Switch is set up and stuff, like, they could totally add Wii games to Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they re-release Wii U games as physical cards, because, like, I would love to have my whole Wii U library on Switch just as carts. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if they would, like, everybody's talking about GameCube games, like, there's a lot of Wii games on Wii that, like, you know, I never played, or, like, that are really worth repurchasing, like Metroid Prime 3, Xenoblade Chronicles, the original. Like, how smart would it be to be like, if Virtual Console was already out, how smart would it be to be like, hey, you pre-ordered the special edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, we're going to give you a code for Xenoblade Chronicles Wii Virtual Console game.
Down.
Like, I feel like that would be a smart way to get people into Virtual Console, where, like, hey, Mario Odyssey, here's a code for Mario Galaxy 1, or here's a code for Sunshine or something.
Yes, yes. Like, and that would actually bring longevity to the Switch, and really
It would
like double, almost like, triple the library of
yeah.
Switch
Well,
games.
it would also allow people to be like, oh, like because Wii is old enough now for people to be nostalgic growing up on the Wii,
Yes.
and so it would be like people who were like, I don't know, 5-ish, and now they're what? Gosh, Wii came out so long ago. Like, okay, so people were 5, and now they're graduating high school. Maybe they fell out of games, and they are interested in the Switch, and they're like, oh, I remember that game on my Wii. I can play it now on my Switch on the go at some point, or like, you know, on my TV with the Joy-Cons. They resemble the Wii remotes. Like, okay, like I would love to see Wii Sports on my Switch. I would love to see like carnival games. Like I really liked those games, and so I think it would be smart if they added Wii to Virtual Console.
It would be crazy for them not to add New Super Mario Brothers for Wii. One of the best selling,
which is the best new Super Mario Brothers game, probably.
Yes, and what's funny is the game is still selling on that console.
I know.
So it would literally be cool to bring that on Switch, because I feel like
that game sold like
still selling. Like I would love to actually have majority of the Mario collection on Switch to take that on the go.
I would like to see like, what if they made like new Super Mario Brothers All Stars, and they put all 4 games on like a cart, or like a Mario, like a 3D Mario All Star or something game.
I need to go to GameStop and pre-order now. I need 2 copies of that right now.
I think it would be kind of smart to like, if they're not going to do Virtual Console right away, to repackage like the way they're doing the Arcade Archives stuff.
Yes,
like that would be cool. Or like, I don't know, there's just a bunch of different ways they could utilize Virtual Console in a smart way to get people back into the ecosystem.
And they could drop,
like, for me, like, I didn't really buy Virtual Console games on the Wii U because I transferred all my Wii ones to the Wii U, and I just went back and played them that way.
Yeah.
And, like, I know it's inconvenient or whatever, but, like, I wasn't going to spend more money on the games I've already purchased, but like at the same time, like now I have the Switch, and you can't really transfer those games over as far as we know. And like I'm ready to jump back into Virtual Console and get all these games.
Yes. So, yes.
Which was revealed in our Super Nintendo.
That means down. I think I would need a 400 gigabyte like an SD card when that happens.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like NES and Super NES games are so small, you could get like 50 of them on 1 gig.
Pretty much. Shit, you probably could do that for the Wii also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love for that to happen. Dang, new Super Mario Brothers All Star collection. That's the DS one, the Wii version, and Super Mario 2, New Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah. Moving along, we have a few sales, or a few new resolution information stories. Yeah, thank you. I lost words. Mario Odyssey is going to run at 900p docked, so crispier than the 720p version that was shown at E3. Not that really matters to me, but like,
yeah,
it
still looks gorgeous.
LA Noire is going to run at 1080p docked, so that's cool. Doom is going to run at 720p docked and portable.
And it was cool. Digital Foundry, they built a computer that matches Switch's tech. Switch's tech, and I think they were running Doom on it. And they were just like, well, if this is what's Doom's gonna play, then like they was just like, it might not be.
Can I tell you how excited I am to play Doom on my Switch? Even though I've played it on Xbox One and PS4, like I beat the PS4 version, and I played about halfway through on Xbox One because it was on a sale. It was one of those stupid sales that Bethesda thought was cute, where they were like, it's $6.66, and I'm like, okay,
Exactly.
I literally made the deal with the devil to buy Doom again. But yeah, so I'm so excited to play Doom on Switch, dude.
Yeah. I'm
Did you see
excited.
the box art for the Switch version?
Yes, I did.
It's like it probably more resembles Doom 2's box art, but it's the hand drawn Doom Marine. Like everything's like hand drawn and hand painted, and he's standing in the fire with all these demons coming around him. It's key art for Doom, but the Doom box art for Xbox One and PS4 is like the Doom Marine, full polygons, full like computer animated, where this one's just like the hand drawn stuff. So,
dude, I'm excited to play Wolfenstein 2 on Switch also next year.
Yeah,
like,
which is running on the Doom engine. Which, did you see? Hold on. Oh, I saw something earlier today. What was it? It was Bethesda. Oh, Bethesda made to celebrate the launch of the SNES Classic.
yeah,
Sorry for the tapping. I
okay.
realized that just picked up on the microphone. I'm sorry. Bethesda created Super Nintendo boxes for Doom, Wolfenstein, and Skyrim to celebrate the SNES Classic.
I seen that.
And I thought, like, maybe if I find them, I'll put them in the video, whatever. But, like, they were really cool looking. The Skyrim one reminded me of, like, the ActRaiser box art. But, yeah, I thought it was super cool. Like, and that right there shows me that Bethesda is kind of committed to Nintendo, like,
They should
the
release
long haul.
that literally for like a deluxe edition. Like
Yeah.
if you pre-order that.
There's a rumor they're trying to get Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 to run on Switch right now. So,
Ooh, a double pack collection?
yeah, I wish they were doing New Vegas, but I think New Vegas is better than 3.
We'll have an
personally.
off-screen discussion about that one.
Nah.
Well, I could be honest with you, haven't played no more than 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, well,
Well, but you know what? I think if they do backwards compatible on Xbox One, I think I'll pick it up for the 360 version and play it on there. Because I own the PS3 version of it, and it was just like, this feels a little bit janky. And
Yeah.
yeah.
but so that was cool. I'm glad that got out there. In sales news, in Japan at least, Pokken Tournament debuts at #1 spot in Japan. Did you see that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, not to like dog this game or anything,
Yeah.
didn't even make the top 40 for sales? It was like number 42 on the sales chart or something. And like, I was like, what? In Pokken Tournament? And
Yeah.
like Street Fighter 5 are still doing better than that, and Injustice.
That's bad. That's 2 Capcom games that a port of the original version beat.
And Ultra Street Fighter 2 on Switch sold. The number was ridiculous. Like the first week of sales for Ultimate Street Fighter 2, like
It's like 400.
it sold like 10 times the amount of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or something on one platform, where Marvel vs. Capcom's available on 3, I think. So I'm just like, I feel bad for that game, but at the same time, like, the game looked kind of weird. Like, the art style they chose and just everything just kind of looked weird. Plus, I think a lot of people are boycotting that game because the X-Men aren't in it.
Yeah.
Like that, like more than the art style and the way like the story mode plays out, because like I think people are just accustomed, is if the fighting game is good, they're gonna play it, which is showing like Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah.
Like that art style looks cool and the fighting is great, whereas this game is mechanically sound, but the characters kind of feel off a little bit. But the fact that Pokken Tournament debuted at #1 in Japan and outsold it here in the US as well, like, it's pretty solid.
And the reason why I said what I said earlier about Pokken doing it twice is that Pokken Tournament for Wii U beat out Street Fighter V, which was an exclusive PS4 game and PC.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
what is going on with Capcom and its big fighters?
It's weird because like they started out this year so good with Resident Evil.
Yes.
And they're doing a lot of cool things with Mega Man, like with the Legacy collections and like say what you will about 7 and 8, Mega Man 7 and 8, but like the Legacy Collection as a package is a cool museum piece for Mega Man. But like to fall short on the franchises like your company is known for,
Exactly.
like, it's just sad because like Capcom, I feel like Capcom is in the same position as Konami has been in for like the past 5 years, where like besides like Kojima's games, where like they have all these IPs and they're sending them out, and they're just sending them out to like get ahead of something, or like Street Fighter V suffered from being out before the fiscal year ended, so they could get results for their investors, you know. And it was the same thing with Mass Effect with EA, like had to get ahead of the fiscal year, where like, you know, I don't understand what happened with Marvel vs. Capcom. Just delay it. Like, if you're having some issues, just delay it. You have, like, if you're trying to beat a fiscal year, like, I understand your fiscal quarter needs to be met, but, like, you're re-releasing a couple Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 7's DLC is coming out soon, and they're releasing, like, the gold edition of Resident Evil 7 at some point in the near future. Like, you have stuff that can keep you afloat until you can fix a game that you're really banking on making your year. Like,
well,
because I feel like Marvel vs. Capcom is the quote casual fighting game that's going to pull in the casual market because it has the Marvel characters.
Right.
You know, that's the game you're banking on selling. Like Street Fighter 5 is sound in a mechanical way and in the tournament scene and stuff like that. But the Marvel game is the one that you're banking on people buying because of the mass appeal of the Marvel characters and the Marvel universe being so hot right now. And it's like, oh, just delay it. Like, you have 6 months until your fiscal year ends.
well, a lot of people don't realize that, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom, because it being 3-person sprite based, I think once they switched to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it started losing its luster. Even with the Ultimate one. And I feel like with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I don't think Capcom did anything wrong. Even if they took out the X-Men characters, I don't feel like they did anything wrong.
Again, that's not their call either, though. That's
right.
That's Disney's call.
I think that
my wife showed up. If you're watching the video, we're just waving.
Hello.
Hi.
I think players just got upset and let that anger affect what Capcom was trying to go for. So because it happens. Look at Metroid Federation Force. When gamers feel anger and be like, "This is not what I want," so I'm not going to vote with my dollar. I'm not going to buy. And a community does that. Those are people. Sometimes those are people who takes gaming a little bit too serious, because they think that when a developer makes a game, it definitely needs to cater to them. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, I think a lot of those people don't respect that developers or creators' vision. So I don't blame Capcom for this. And I don't want to say that I just feel like the reason that it was just a lot of gamers' anger.
Do you think Disney had a lot of say in when this game came out?
Yes. I really do. Because of Disney owns the property now, they the ones that make the decisions.
Yeah, it's like, I agree with you. I feel like maybe Disney had more of a say when this game came out. They wanted to get it out before all the major games, before their Star Wars game.
Right.
Because they know, you know, fighting games are such a niche kind of genre for most people. And like, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's just weird, but
right.
But back to like Nintendo.
Yes.
I'm really happy that like Pokken Tournament saw a second life.
Yes.
Because that game didn't sell. It sold well on the Wii U, but it didn't sell like a Pokemon game should sell. You know, and like that, to bring it back out on a system that's really popular and to see it debuting at #1 and kind of staying there for now is like It's really cool.
Right, and a lot of people are maining like the new some of the new Pokemon, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah. There is a Monster Truck game coming to Switch. Monster Jam. Cool.
Yeah.
And also, you can now download all the SNES Classic game manuals with high-res visuals. Their manuals are high-quality PDFs, just like the originals, and they offer insights in the games, including tips, tricks, backstory, and much, much more. So,
Yes.
awesome. I would be interested in seeing the Star Fox 2 instruction manual.
Yes, that's
because it says... it does say that Nintendo has released them for all 21 games, so Star Fox 2 one is available, so that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
Corey.
Yeah.
It seems that Darkest Dungeon may be coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yep. The developers of Darkest Dungeon have teased that the game may be coming to Switch. I showed you this last night, which was cool. Oh, I found that Skyrim box art.
Yes, that looks so good. That literally is 16-bit art style for Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
that's really good.
I hope they include a reversible cover of this for the Switch version of Skyrim.
Yes, I need it.
I just feel like that would be just awesome.
I literally need it.
Like, not necessarily. They don't need to have like the Super Nintendo branding on it, but if they just like took this part right here and just kind of put like the Switch thing up here, and like that would be the back, and this would be the front. It would that would be awesome.
Yes.
So, but yeah, Darkest Dungeon seemingly coming to Switch soon. So that's exciting. I don't really know much about Darkest Dungeon, but I think Matt or Moose played it, and they like it a lot. So, yeah, I think that's most of the news. Like I said, Ed and I have been saving batches of your questions for our Pow Block or our question block episode.
Yes.
And then next week we'll get into the news again that we missed throughout the week and stuff. You know how it goes.
Yes.
We're just...
Unfortunately, I won't be here, everybody.
I know, that'd be sad.
Corey, we did it.
I know, we did it.
Yes.
We did it. I found Ed. I walked into the train station, and he was sitting there, and I just sat there and watched him pack up his stuff, and he didn't even notice. What a jerk.
I was trying to look for you. I was going inside and out the train station, just like, where's Corey at? Where is he? Like, oh. And then the place didn't have no internet, and I'm like, oh, dang it.
Oh, dang. So, but I think that's gonna wrap up this episode. We have a ton of good discussion coming your way on Friday's episode. So I can't wait to record it, first of all, but I can't wait to share with you the discussion topics we're gonna have. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awesome. So this has been episode of Nintendo Pow Block. You can find us every Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. on your podcast service of choice, or please watch our video version of this episode. I'm pretty proud of it. It's gonna be a cool kind of lightly produced episode. So Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at @RetroCode and check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud. I'm going to keep it short because we got a lot of stuff to do. Also, everybody, join the Nintendo Pow Block on Facebook. I have some questions up there that I want to hear from you guys. What you think of Nintendo at this point in time? Like, what you think of their games, the systems? Have you been enjoying them? Have you kind of been upset about it or disappointed or let down? I really want to know what you guys think. So go ahead. And also, put up your Switch codes. I have a Nintendo Switch, so my friend code is up there, and my 3DS code is up there. I want to game with you guys. I want to add you and have great discussions with you. So yeah, join the Nintendo Pow Block page.
Yeah.
There will be some video game reviews coming soon from me. I'm sorry, everybody, that I've been late. But I'm getting back into the review session of things.
I know. I'm trying to do stuff. I just.
Yes.
You know, we've been I've been reworking the website slowly. Slowly, I'm trying, I'm sorry.
Yes.
But we're trying to make it easier for you guys to see what we think of games, blogs, and reviews, not necessarily by console. If you guys are a fan of Giant Bomb, the way their website's set up right now, it's like previews, reviews, videos, blogs, more. And like it's not separated by console or anything. It's really just like pretty straightforward, and because you know they have like this much bigger scale of what we're trying to do. Like they have like 3 podcasts, I think, where like they do all the consoles in one podcast, where like we kind of have one for each console, but like
yes,
on the same time, like they have these really long form podcasts, and then they go in depth of like videos of, they have like quick looks where they play a game for like, it used to be like 15 minutes, now they're getting up into 40 to 50 minute range. But they have like UPF, and they have all these other cool video segments where like I kind of want us to do stuff like that with more written stuff also. So that's something Ed and I are going to talk about tonight while I'm editing these shows and kind of going through things. But yeah, anyways, you can find me at CoreyNHD on Instagram, Twitch, CoreyNUHD on Twitter. You can find me on Arsenal X, World 1, NGR Radio, and of course Nintendo Pow Block. Join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Nintendo Pow Block. Email the show at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. But Ed, this was exciting. This first episode that we're doing.
Yes.
We have
live.
We have so much to do today, dude. We have another episode of this. We have Optional Opinion, and we have another show that I've been working on. Maybe we'll just get to that tomorrow.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we have Arsenal X and World War One. So we're gonna try to do some more Let's Pod and Plays.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna try to work through the first couple missions of the campaign of Destiny. Actually, you know what we should do for that? Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we love you. Bye.
Woohoo!